is Jennifer Wojcicki with the WSGW Weatherology Forecast.
Currently, it's 57.
Now, the only local radio talk show offering you the chance to ask your questions and express your opinions. From around your block to around the world, The Art Lewis Show is on 100.5 and 790 WSGW and online, WSGW.com. The Art Lewis Show is presented by Westside Decorating Center.
Good morning and welcome to The Art Lewis Show. It's Thursday morning, folks, and this is Matt Felan, your guest host for the week, as Art is doing double duty this week with the Memorial Cup and has been spending quite a bit of time over at the Dow Event Center, the UA Local 85 Fan Fest, and has been taking part in quite a bit of festivities. But every morning, Art is joining us and is giving us the weekly update. It's the brought to you by MBS International Airport, where you can fly from nearby. It's daily reports from Art on the Memorial Cup. We're expecting him to call in shortly. I will tell you, though, last night I had the opportunity to attend the game, and it was epic, folks. I think I was joking yesterday quite a bit that I thought that the game yesterday was going to be the biggest game in the history of the Saginaw Spirit, and it definitely lived up to the billing. So first of all, let's talk about the crowd at Wendler Arena at the Dow Event Center, because it was unlike anything I have ever seen in Saginaw. It was sold out. Standing room was sold out. So when you get on the concourse to head to your lower level or upper level seats, the great part was it was lined with people, lined with fans all the way around. There was not a free spot in the arena to watch the game. I thought that was the first part. The second part was really what caught my attention. The mix of the fans here this week has been phenomenal. Number one, clearly Saginaw and the Great Lakes Bay region. I give you all the credit in the world. My props to all of you. We have shown out. Fans have come in droves, old, young, parents, young hockey players, business leaders. You know, it was pretty normal yesterday to just walk through the arena and, oh, there's President Grant from SVSU, and here's X leader from this company, Y leader. It was a who's who of the Great Lakes Bay region coming out to support the Spirit. So that stuck out. Second, the Canadians are awesome. I'm just going to say it. Canadian hockey fans are amazing. One of the things that I definitely loved seeing was there were portions of the crowd that were wearing their jersey from their team, whether they were in the Memorial Cup or not. So I was up in U8, had a boisterous group of London Knight fans sitting down in front of us. They enjoyed their night. But to the side, you could see fans from the Sioux. There was kind of a great collection of fans with the Sarnia Sting that were out there. It was really cool to see all the various fans. And then three, it was just one heck of a hockey game. And with that, Art is with us here this morning, recovering from what was an amazing night. Art, how are you here on Thursday morning?
Recovering. I'm glad we got the day off, to tell you the truth.
Yeah, I can't imagine having a tiebreaker day today. That'd be a bit much, wouldn't it?
Yeah, oh yeah. Well, yeah, tiebreaker. Yeah, that would be a bit much. The thing about last night, though, you talk about the crowd. There was no standing room in the standing room because there were so many people.
It was amazing, wasn't it?
Many people there. Yeah, it was unbelievable. It really was. You were there.
Yeah, I was walking through. I'm like, wait a minute, you guys need to get your seats. And they were like, these are our seats. This is where we're at.
It was an absolutely phenomenal game till the last minute and 35 seconds.
We played world-class hockey for 59 and a half minutes. But I will tell you this. Despite the fact that with a minute and a half to go, we were right there, tied 2-2. You're a minute and a half away from a good bounce, one break away from being the Memorial Cup final. We can say all that, but for someone, who was watching the game closely and really, thoroughly enjoyed the game, we easily could have been down 7-2, 8-2, 9-2. Our goalie, Mr. Oak, stood on
Yeah, he
his
did well.
head and spun. What did he say? 4 or 5 clear 1-on-0 or 2-on-1 breakaways. He kept us in that game because that could have been a really decisive London victory, but he was phenomenal last night.
They were talking about that on the radio last night. Dylan and Dennis, after the game, Dennis was saying that, if it gone the other way, the player of the game would have been Oak.
That may have been the performance of the entire postseason in all 3 leagues in the Memorial Cup. I thought it was just that outstanding, and his presence makes a big difference between that semifinal and last night. Even that's a big deal, and I'll tell you, if we can take care of business on Friday and get past Moose Jaw, he always gives us a chance to win a game, doesn't he?
Yeah. Yeah, and Sunday will, if we get past Moose Jaw on Friday, which I think we could easily. We did beat them once already. Sunday's game, I think, will be historic in terms of the crowd, the game, the atmosphere, you name it. It will be just unbelievable at the Dow. Nobody could have written a script any better if it comes out that way.
Oh, you are 100% correct. I will tell you, though, there is kind of one little piece that makes me appreciate the fact that we're in the semi on Friday night and didn't go all the way back to the final on Sunday, which would have been great. But in terms of for the arena, for downtown, for local businesses, for our fans, it's great having Saginaw playing again on Friday night, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's great for our fans. No doubt about it. No doubt about that.
If the boys do this right, these last 3 nights of hockey, we'll have Saginaw playing each of the nights if the boys can survive on Friday night. For me, that's a great thing for Saginaw.
Yeah, it is. It is. But I would have preferred they had 2 days or 3 days of rest. But it's all right. That's just me.
I thought about that too. I was thinking about that. I'm like, man, these guys need rest. And then I'm reminded, wait a minute. These guys are 16 and 17 and 18.
Yeah.
They should be able to bounce back here.
Yeah, they're conditioned, and they do it all season because they don't have that big rest during the season. So,
yeah, no, you're right. And look at us. We attended the game last night, and we need a day off.
That's right.
So,
that's true.
What do fans have to look forward to through the weekend? Now, today, just so we're clear, there's no activity scheduled because it was kind of an if necessary tiebreaker. It's not necessary. So it is a down day at the Dow Event Center today, and I think the staff and the crews and everyone is going to enjoy that big exhale. But we're back at it tomorrow night, 7:30, the semifinal. But what does the weekend look like?
Well, it's they have the Walker Hayes concert on Saturday. It's the weekend looks like it's full of good activities. It's just a continuation of the Fan Fest and everything else. So it's just an exciting time downtown. There's no 2 ways about it.
So if I have it correct, fans can attend the Fan Fest even if they're not going to the game.
Sure.
So Friday, 4 to 8, Food Truck Alley again. In the Temple Theater will be Spirit Rising episode 7 and an NHL jersey auction from 4 to 7. The Family Fun Hockey Hall of Fame.
Wait, go back. Go back. What'd you say?
Is that at the Temple?
No, it's been moved.
That's been moved into the Dow Event Center?
The Dow.
Okay.
Right. The screenings are in the Dow Theater, and where by the way, all the trophies in the Hall of Fame trophies are. And then the jersey auction is in the glass walkway between the atrium and the Dow Theater.
And that's why we have you here. You know every last detail that's going on. Saturday, 1 to 10 is Christmas with a Cup at Zender Park in Frankenmuth. And 8 p.m., as you mentioned, the Walker Hayes concert at the Jolt Event Park. Tickets are required, so you're going to want to go online to Saginaw Spirit Memorial Cup and get your Walker Hayes tickets for Saturday. And then there's going to be fireworks at 10:30 p.m. on the Saginaw Riverfront on Saturday. And then Sunday it is. This is where we wrap up.
Yep.
It's a continuation of the Hall of Fame exhibit, Spirit Rising Episode 8, which you said is inside the theater at the Dow. Food Truck Alley again from 4 to 8. Live entertainment 4 to 6:30. And then the championship game, London Knights versus Saginaw Moose Jaw at 7:30. And again, they're going to end with fireworks at 10 p.m. on Sunday.
And also, you have that schedule there in front of you. Is there anything today down there in the Fan Fest?
No, today is a down day. So they're closed down. The shop is closed for a day.
Yeah. Well, I don't blame them.
Yeah, no,
I don't blame them.
It's been phenomenal. And what are you hearing? Because you're around, and we're going to have Craig Goslin on here as we come out of the next break. What are you hearing on tickets for the rest of the weekend, Art?
Well, I would imagine they'll be sold out now. This, particularly since the Spirit are playing. I think it'll be exactly like it was last night. No standing room in the standing room. It was just amazing. I told that to Goslin, he laughed because you walked around the arena, and every little inch was filled with people. I mean, it was just amazing. It really, truly was amazing.
Yeah, it was incredible. Well, Art, thank you for joining us on the Memorial Cup Daily Reports here, brought to you by MBS International Airport, where you can fly from nearby. Go have a great day, Art.
All right, and enjoy the Memorial Cup presented by Dow. We look forward to more.
For over 25 years, Linex has been the only place to go for quality spray-on bed liner.
But did you know Tri-City Linex is now ProLine Coatings? They offer rust-proofing and undercoating too. Their exclusive process will keep your new or used vehicle protected.
That's great news. Now, the guys at ProLine Coatings have the only wax-based, rust-proofing, and military spec undercoat to ensure years of protection.
In fact, all new vehicles protected will get a lifetime warranty. No yearly touch-ups required.
And because ProLine's rust-proofing process is wax-based, you won't have any long-term dripping or mess to clean up later. Rust-proof your car, truck, or SUV and protect it year-round.
Tri-City Linex is now ProLine Coatings, and they're located on Wilder Road in Bay City. Give them a call at 989-671-9820.
They also offer Stone Guard for rocker panels and bumpers and floor coatings for snowmobile and UTV trailers.
Again, ProLine Coatings number in Bay City is 989-671-9820. That's 989-671-9820.
Are you the decision maker in your company? Consider this. For the first time in decades, there's a better option for a corporate card and spend management platform. Meet Ramp, the only corporate card and spend management system designed to help you spend less money so you can make more. Most corporate credit cards offer points as incentives, but those points amount to less than their worth in real cash value. Ramp's business cards offer you cash back, real money in your pocket. Plus, you control who spends what with each vendor. And Ramp software collects and verifies receipts automatically, which means you'll stop wasteful spending and close your books in hours instead of days. Businesses that use Ramp add up to 5% to their bottom line the first year. If you're a decision maker, adding Ramp could be one of the best decisions you've ever made. And now get $250 when you join Ramp for free. Just go to ramp.com/free. Ramp.com/free. ramp.com/free.
Cards issued by Sutton Bank and Celtic Bank, members of FDIC. Terms and conditions apply.
I'm Neil Cavuto, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Economic growth has been revised to a slightly weaker reading for the start of the year. The first quarter gross domestic product expanded at a 1.3% pace, down from the initial estimate of 1.6% and down from 3.4% for the end of last year. The revision is reflecting a slowdown in consumer spending and slower government spending. The job market appears to be holding up. New claims for unemployment benefits were little changed last week. New claims came in at 219,000, up 3,000, but in the range of a healthy job market. Salesforce shares are slumping, dragging down the Dow. The business software company and parent of Slack is suggesting companies may be spending more cautiously. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Ginny Cosola, invested in you.
Hey, it's Jesse Kelly. Are you still on the fence about owning gold? It's time to pull the trigger with the Oxford Gold Group and buy gold and silver. Nobody can predict the future, but we can't put our head in the sand either. The Oxford Gold Group are the pros. They make owning gold and silver simple and easy to understand. Call Oxford Gold Group right now, and you may qualify for up to $10,000 in free precious metals. Call 833-995-GOLD. That's 833-995-GOLD.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
You give and you give. It's time to get with Straight Talk Wireless. You get a reliable 5G network and unlimited data and a Samsung Galaxy A14 included with the activation of a Silver Unlimited plan. So you can give your janky phone to your kid. Yeah!
Switch to Straight Talk. Find us at Walmart and straighttalk.com. For network management practices, visit straighttalk.com. Requires in-store activation. Device offer ends 6/9/24. Taxes and fees apply.
Good morning and welcome back to the Art Lewis Show. It's Matt Felan from the Great Lakes Bay Regional Alliance filling in as a guest host this week for Art, as Art is taking part in all things Memorial Cup throughout the course of the week. And we're doing a balancing act here on the Art Lewis Show. But as you guys know, we've been chatting quite a bit about the Memorial Cup. And today and tomorrow, we are blessed to have our good friend, the show's good friend, Craig Goslin with the Saginaw Spear with us. Good morning, Goose.
Good morning, Matt. It's we're down at the Fortress today. We just got all of our alumni off with the number of sponsors on the golf course, and it's an amazing morning here this morning. We lost last night, but we got another chance Friday, and we're on to all the festivities of the Memorial Cup. It's going really well.
So, Goose, just let's take a quick step back and just tell me, when you walked into the arena last night, and you were out, of course, outside and out in the lobby and doing your work. But when you walked into the arena and you saw that crowd and you saw the standing room and those national anthems started and you saw that environment, what were you feeling at that moment?
Actually, I was down on the ice with our alumni that were going to introduce Owen Tippett and Cole Perfetti at the drop the puck. And I looked around there and I felt complete humility for our community. And I got choked up like I am now, looking around there as people. That this shows you the power of us, what we can do together. And the community came together for this thing. And last night was an amazing demonstration of just how great, and I mean great, the Great Lakes Bay Region is.
So, Craig,
all the way from Isabella County all the way to the Thumb, people were in there, and it was just a great illustration of collaboration, and all of us working together, from fans to sponsors to our dignitaries. Unbelievable. It was all I can say is completely humbled by the support.
So, Craig, one thing I will tell you when you look at this is this never happens unless you also had a top tier exceptional product to put on the ice. And
that's correct.
You have taken, with the GM, the coaching staff, Dick, everyone, you guys have built a phenomenal hockey club. And for 58 and a half minutes last night, you looked like the elite, best of the best team in the entire CHL, all three leagues. You've gotten us to that level. That had to be a whole nother kind of satisfying, despite the crowd and the event, being able to compete at that level. That has to be a special moment as well.
Well, I'm so proud of Dave Drinkle, our general manager, Chris Lazar, our head coach. The players are exceptional. We have 10 NHL drafted players, and a number of them are getting signed now by the NHL teams. An incredible array of talented athletes on the ice that'll be playing in the NHL and on all these teams. But Matt, through the league, there's 68 games in the regular season. There's 60 teams, and there was only 3 teams in the league, and out of those 60 teams, they had more wins than the Saginaw Spirit in the regular season. So we were, put together to compete this year, and that's one of the components of winning the World Cup bid, because the bid, so your listeners understand, goes out about a year and a half prior to the actual World Cup. So you got to show the site selection committee that your team on the ice is capable of as a host to compete with the champions of the other three leagues. So you got to have a good team, and we illustrated that with Michael Meese and Zane Perek, the main parts of our bid, showing these are two elite players. Neither one of those drafted yet, by the way. Zane Perek's going to go in the first round of the draft here at the end of June. Michael Meese may be the first overall pick in the draft the following year. So that was the main guts of our bid. And you're right. This is an elite group of student athletes. And those that have not watched and seen the Saginaw Spirit play, this would be like the University of Michigan's championship football team that just won, but on a little different scale. These are the cream of the crop, the best of the best that are here in Saginaw. And we finally have connected those dots from our hockey operations. It took us 22 years, but we finally got there.
Yeah, and Craig, I think one thing, at least for me, to watch all of this transpiring, for our listeners that may not know, your players age out, and so you have to go through cycles of building and then building up and then being able to compete at that high level. And the last time we were really ready to compete for a championship, we got hit by COVID, and there were no seasons, no playoffs, and that last time that you really had this machine built to go win a championship, we were robbed of that opportunity. And then how hard is it to have to kind of hit Control Alt Delete and start all over again to get ready in another 3 to 4 years? That had to be incredibly frustrating, but at the same point has to make the current situation so much more fulfilling, right?
Yes, you know what? You're right. That was very difficult. 1920, we had a championship caliber team. They won 21 of the last 22 hockey games, and we were blowing people away. We were winning by 4 and 5 goals. So this hockey operations staff we have, we have 8 scouts that scout players throughout the Ontario and the Midwest and the eastern part of the U.S. And we have the best scouting staff. So I mean, you can look around sports and being in this now for 22 years, scouting is everything. I mean, it's scouting and coaching and development. That's what it is when it comes to putting together an elite team. And the other thing is that you got to have functionality. You got to be able to have the owner's own, the manager's manage, the coach's coach, and the player's player. We are the most functional franchise in the Canadian Hockey League. A lot of that's to do with Dick Garber, and we're just very functional. We hire really high-end people, high talented people. We empower them, we hold them accountable, but we stay out of their way. We let them do their jobs, and that's one of the issues in our league is that owners get overly involved. You see not just in our league, we see in major league sports where the owners are getting involved to a point where it's a detriment. And we've made sure that we stay. And that's just one of those. Somebody says, "How are you guys competing every year?" And that's one of the secrets right there. Is owners own, managers manage, coaches coach, and players play. And that's why the relationships too are so solid. There's trusting relationships amongst the whole organization. So that's what's put us on the map, and that's going to keep us on the map so that we get back here again.
So, Craig, I'm going to put you on the spot. I want to talk about one part of the game, and it stuck out to me like no other. Andrew Oak played like a professional goalie last night. Andrew Oak.
Outstanding.
We were talking, if it's not for Andrew Oak, that game could have looked very different. And he kept us in that game all night, and he stood on his head. Was that one of the greatest performances you've seen by a goalie in a Saginaw jersey?
Without question. I was watching the game for a while with Steve Eiserman and Chris Draper. And by the way, the Red Wings had their entire staff there last night. And they were watching the game. Andrew Oak was in their camp. And Eiserman asked me, he just said, him or Sean Hawkoff, one of those guys said, is he signed yet? Andrew Oak is not signed yet, but somebody's going to sign him after that performance. Incredible. I mean, last night we had 31 of the 32 NHL teams represented in the building, which is really a cool thing. The NHL is here in Rose because of the draft eligible players on both teams, and both London and Saginaw, and so they're checking in. And Detroit's right in that same spot too, where they may take Zane Perek. It'd be nice to see because Zane's in that same slot. Looks like he's gonna be a top 12 pick or so, but yeah, no, Andrew Oak was incredible last night, and he's just an amazingly talented kid. He's big, he's athletic, he's got all the tools that And I get that. I know nothing about goaltending. All I know is I know when I see a good one, and he's a good one.
No, when you see him, Goose, shake his hand for me. That was a phenomenal performance. Hey, we're going to take a break.
Yes.
I'm going to have you back for one more segment, Goose. Let's talk about the weekend ahead, tickets, and how we're going to wrap up this weekend here at the Dow.
Perfect. Thanks, Matt.
Let me take a moment to talk about my friends at Quick Lane Freeland next to my car dealer, McDonald Ford. This is where you can get all of your routine maintenance done. Oil changes, brakes, tires, batteries, and they work on all makes and models of cars, not just Fords. Chevys, Toyotas, Hondas, Jeeps, Dodge, you name it. They keep them all in tip-top shape. And here is a tip from Quick Lane Freeland.
Do you suffer from allergies? Did you know FrigiFresh kills germs in your vehicle's air conditioning system? FrigiFresh is a hospital-grade disinfectant that controls pollen, molds, and mildew inside your car. It's only $20 and takes less than 10 minutes for the treatment. You can get FrigiFresh at Quick Lane next to McDonald Ford in Freeland. Just stop in. No appointment needed.
Quick Lane Freeland, right next to McDonald Ford, working on all makes and models of cars.
I'm pretty conservative. Many of us are here in rural America. We believe, and I believe, that we have a responsibility to care for not only for our families, but our communities. And this wind project is a great opportunity. It's roads, bridges, schools, things that we need around here. For people who are skeptical, come and see it. It is creating opportunities that we never had before.
Fuel for Thought, presented by the American Clean Power Association.
It could be the best years of your life. In retirement, you'll finally get to do what you want to do, but you have to plan for it. Start by tuning into Mindy and Nolan McIntosh of McIntosh and Associates every Sunday at noon for Wealth Michigan with the McIntoshes. Make retirement the best time of your life. Tune in Sundays at noon for Wealth Michigan with the McIntoshes. Firm offers insurance services. Investment advisory services offered only by duly registered individuals through AE Wealth Management, LLC.
Hey, it's Jesse Kelly. Are you still on the fence about owning gold? It's time to pull the trigger with the Oxford Gold Group and buy gold and silver. Nobody can predict the future, but we can't put our head in the sand either. The Oxford Gold Group are the pros. They make owning gold and silver simple and easy to understand. Call Oxford Gold Group right now, and you may qualify for up to $10,000 in free precious metals. Call 833-995-GOLD. That's 833-995-GOLD.
Let's face it, nothing makes you look older than you really are than thinning hair. But what if you could not only increase your hair count, but promote new hair growth without surgery, without drugs with potential side effects, and without a prescription from your doctor? Well, now you can, thanks to a breakthrough new supplement called Hair Grow, provided by New Nordic, the #1 supplier of dietary supplements in Europe. Hair Grow is now available in the U.S. Only Hair Grow contains Tocogaya, a powerful antioxidant that has received a U.S. patent. Multiple clinical studies show Hair Grow is safe and effective in promoting new hair growth. In one study, 95% of the patients using Hair Grow saw increased hair count. Don't lose more time and more hair. Try Hair Grow today to feel and look your best. Available online at Amazon, Walmart.com, and NewNordicUSA.com, or in stores at your local CVS. Look younger and feel more confident with Hair Grow by New Nordic at NewNordicUSA.com, or in stores at your local CVS.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies candidates with the right skills, sends you great matches, then you can easily invite them to apply. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. See for yourself. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/free to try ZipRecruiter for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
You are with WSGW in the Stormmaster Exterior Studios, and you are listening to WSGW Online, presented by Stormmaster Exteriors.
Good morning and welcome back to the Art Lewis Show. It's Matt Felan from the Great Lakes Bay Region Alliance, your guest host for the week, as Art is doing all things Memorial Cup. And with us today and tomorrow, Craig, I'm not letting you off the hook, is Craig Goslin with the Saginaw Spirit. It's a huge week for the Great Lakes Bay region in Saginaw, and Craig has been in the middle of it for literal decades, and we're kind of at the culmination. So for our fans, Craig, tell us about the weekend ahead. I was, before you joined us, I was talking to Art. The silver lining to me is, yeah, we didn't go directly to the finals, but you know what? We still may have 2 more games for the Spirit here this weekend. Can you let everyone know how the weekend is shaping up, and what does it look like on the ticket front? Can folks still get tickets for Friday and Sunday?
Yeah, and Matt, yes, it's a great point. Actually, I had Craig Button, who was a former GM in the National Hockey League, who works for TSN as an analyst now. We talked yesterday. He talked about that the loser of that game was going to have a great chance to win the World Cup, and we didn't want to be that loser. Of course, we want to go right to the finals. But we got a big game against Moose Jaw, and we certainly can't overlook them. They're a great team. They're a league champion. But certainly if we can win that game, I think it's going to be very difficult to beat the host team 3 times in their building. So that's going to be the goal, is to win Friday, take one step at a time, win that game, and then get to the finals Sunday against London. But yeah, there's still tickets available for Friday night, and right now I would suggest getting them soon because it will sell out again. And then of course the finals on Sunday. There's some tickets available for the finals on Sunday as well. So get them now. SaginawSpirit.com. You can go to the Memorial Cup tab there and just tab down to get your tickets. Is the easiest way to do it. Or you can come to the box office at the Dow too. Our store is closed right now on Faith Street, but you can come in the box office at the Dow and get those tickets. But yeah, it's exciting coming up here to Friday. Friday's gonna be special. And then of course today the campus is closed down today. We got the golf outing going on right now at the Fortress, and then we open the campus back up on Friday. With the number of exciting things going on there. It's amazing what's going on. If you haven't been down there, you have to come down and see the Fan Fest, the UA Local 85 Fan Fest. It is spectacular. It screams community, Matt. I know you've been walking around there multiple times, and it's just it shows you the power of us working together, and that's what's happened down there with that Fan Fest.
Hey, you know what filled my heart this week, Goose, was I was down there yesterday, and all the school buses with the middle school kids that came in. For our listeners, so you have an idea, they did some programming for middle school kids around mental health, and we're talking about sport and hockey, and part of the event, who came up with the idea of, hey, let's bring all these schools. I saw the Frankenmuth buses going by, the Bay City buses going by, the Saginaw buses going by. There was huge groups of students there from middle school listening out at Jolt yesterday. What a great addition. How did that come about?
Yeah. Well, actually, that whole idea of bringing the schools in is something the Memorial Cup has done for the last three Memorial Cups, and we just expanded on it. Jimmy Green did an amazing job. Caleb Pionk, Kay Panko, our staff. We're so blessed to have such talented people that get out into the community and work these things. And I got to tell you, too, we had Jolt Credit Union was a major part of all that, and helping us to really gather the information together. But mental health, it was about anti-bullying. What do you do when you see a classmate that may be experimenting with drugs? Who do you do? What are the steps? Who do you go to? Who do you talk to? And all those kind of things that kids deal with every day that maybe they don't bring it home and talk to mom and dad about, or they themselves are feeling some issues with their health and their mental state. And that was all. It was so well done. And thanks to SVSU, Dr. George Grant was there and made an amazing presentation as well. So I mean, it shows the community coming together for the good of all of us. And that event yesterday with over 3,000 school kids. It was a bit difficult to manage, but they did it and they came off without a hitch.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, if you can handle all of us rowdy hockey fans every night of the week, some middle school students are no problem. Well, hey, Goose, I know you have a big day out at the Fortress. Go enjoy the beautiful weather that Terry Henney gave you. Go enjoy meeting with your sponsors and supporters, and enjoy one night to maybe exhale. Huge weekend ahead. We're looking forward to it. Good luck Friday night. And as I've been saying all week, Goose, why not us? So let's maybe make Sunday a magical, historical day for the Saginaw Spirit in the Great Lakes Bay region.
Well, this is like winning the Super Bowl. If we can win this thing, we're right on the cusp, but we're in the semifinals. There's only 3 teams left in the Canadian Hockey League out of the 60. We're one of them, and that's the exciting thing. I also have the Walker Hayes concert on Saturday night. There's tickets available after that. That's going to be an amazing show at the Joe Credit Union Event Park. So, yeah, come on out, be part of the fun, be part of the festivities. One time in our life we're going to have this thing, and it's now. So if you haven't been out there, you're welcome to come on and join us. Thanks, Matt.
Thanks, Goose. Talk to you tomorrow.
Yeah, bye.
I think one of the things that patients don't realize is that when they get a joint replacement, that's not a lifetime treatment option. And they're probably, if they are a younger patient, signing up for multiple surgeries down the road.
As a physician and medical director for QC Kinetics, Dr. Caravelli's seen a pattern of trending joint pain. Prolonged medication, steroids, then surgery, possibly another surgery.
So a lot of our patients are trying to avoid or put off surgery, and this is the treatment that can help them do that.
QC Kinetics extracts your body's healing substances, concentrates them back into your aching joints to help heal and restore those areas, providing lasting relief.
Oh, I love being able to tell my patients, before we do this surgery, let's try another option. Let's see if this is right for you, because now they might not have to have surgery at all.
Call today for your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 810-243-8529. That's 810-243-8529. QC Kinetics, 810-243-8529.
My friends swim no matter the season, but my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis can sometimes take me out of the moment. Now, thanks to Skyrizi and clear skin, count me in. With Skyrizi, Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy. 3 out of 4 people achieve 90% clear skin at 4 months. Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check for infection and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms such as fever, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, or if you plan to or recently received a vaccine. Thanks to Skyrizi, there's nothing on my skin, and that means everything. Ask your doctor today about Skyrizi, the #1 dermatologist-prescribed biologic in psoriasis, and visit skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI to learn more.
What I know about courage, I learned from my adoptive mom. She said sometimes you just gotta hold on and know we'll get through this. Mom, we are so high up. Hold my hand.
No, you hold my hand.
Here we go.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. You can't imagine the reward. Visit adoptuskids.org to find out more.
I learned patience from my adoptive dad. All he had to say was,
"Hey, you got this. Just breathe." Hey, we're pretty good.
Yeah.
Might have to start a band.
I got it.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. You can't imagine the reward. Visit adoptuskids.org to find out more. This message is brought to you by Adopt US Kids, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, and the Ad Council.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 50-year-old male, maybe a bit porky, and you may even have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. Call Term Provider. Speak with Big Lou at 800-230-2777. Big Lou will find a term life policy for you even if you have type 2 diabetes, are overweight, or have high blood pressure. Term Provider has helped thousands of people like you who think they can't afford term life insurance. To buy $1 million of affordable term life for you, all you need to do is call Big Lou at 800-230-2777. Lou will make sure the scales are tipped in your favor. Call 800-230-2777. Big Lou will answer your call and work to fit you into a term life policy that you can afford. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too. Call 800-230-2777, 800-230-2777, or biglou.com.
Good morning and welcome back to the Art Lewis Show. This is Matt Felan with the Great Lakes Bay Regional Alliance, filling in for Art this week as he's busy out at the Memorial Cup. I want to take our last segment here in the first hour to really kind of build off the Memorial Cup and really kind of share some other phenomenal things that are happening as it relates to sports, professional sports here in the Great Lakes Bay region between now and the end of the year, because the Memorial Cup is part of what I consider to be a really dynamic amount of amazing sporting events taking place across the region. So, first of all, the Great Lakes Loons had kicked off their season. They're currently second place in their division behind Lake County. The Loons are 26 and 21. When we talk about sports and professional sports, college sports, different things that we can do here in the region, the Great Lakes Loons offer a phenomenal product. I think everyone knows it's a Class A ball club, a part of the Los Angeles Dodgers organization. We have seen our fair share of amazing talent come through Midland and the Loons on their way to the major leagues and playing professionally at every level, AA, AAA, and above. The Loons will be playing through September. A phenomenal, if you have a chance, folks, make sure you get out to a game this summer. Go online to greatlakesloons.com. Every home game, they are so creative. There are so many different nights that you can enjoy, whether it's Bark in the Park or Thirsty Thursdays, Star Wars nights. They have a theme and a night for everyone. The Loons, one of our stalwart professional sports organizations here in the region, they will be playing all summer long. One of the next big events upcoming is the Dow Championship. So I think everyone knows this year this is a renamed event. It had been for years been the Dow Great Lakes Bay Invitational. So if you remember it in those terms, that's maybe how you know it. It is now the Dow Championship, and same great tournament. And this, one of the things we love about this tournament, folks, this brings in the premier best of the best women professional golfers from around the world. This year is a date change, though, however. It's going to be June 24th through the 30th at the Midland Country Club. Normally, that event has historically been held in the month of July. This year, it is moved to the end of June to accommodate the 2024 Summer Olympic Games in Paris. The tournament itself starts on Thursday, the 27th, and runs through the 30th. You can go to dowchampionship.com and buy your tickets there. And again, a lot of different options. They involve various food events, the trail of that you can go and taste amazing offerings from our local restaurants and vendors. You can look for VIP seats there. If you're a veteran, there's a way to get engaged at the Veterans Tent and the Veteran Organization. It is, if you haven't been there before, folks, number one, I can't begin to tell you how elite these golfers are and how amazing and top level they play. Two, you can get really close. I mean, you're right there on the tee box. You're right there along the fairway, the green. You're literal feet from the action and feet from watching these elite players. But I think the last thing is the format is really cool. If you haven't been out there before, this is a team event. So they're teams of two. They compete as a team against other teams of two. The formats change each day, whether it's best ball or alternating shot. It's incredibly competitive. The women golfers love coming to Midland to play in this style of a tournament. And Dow has really done everything they can to make sure that the purse for this event is one that is a draw for the players. And because of that, the elite players make their way into the region. So get yourself out there again, June 24th to the 30th. Bay City is home to a wide array of professional sports this summer. And so you're probably thinking, Matt, what are you talking about? We did not know that Bay City had professional sports, but guess what? We do. There are 4 major fishing tournaments heading towards the Bay and Bay City. The first is the BASS High School Tournament, Bass High School Tournament, from Thursday, June 6th to Sunday, June 9th. You have the Bass College Tournament from Thursday, June 6th to Sunday, June 9th. And then later in the summer, you have the Hobie Kayak Bass Series from Friday, August 9th to Sunday, August 11th. And then we end with the National Professional Fishing League from Thursday, August 29th through Saturday, August 31st. What our folks across the world have learned is that the Great Lakes Bay region and our fishery is home to some of the best fishing in the world. And folks, here in this region, we do a really good job of perch fishing. We do an exceptional job of walleye fishing. Because of that, sometimes the bass are kind of left alone. And so our bass population is through the roof, and the national tournaments have caught on, and they know that this is one of the best fisheries in the world. So those 4 tournaments will be in the area this summer. And then finally, the last one to highlight, and it's actually the longest running professional sports here in the region, is the Dow Tennis Classic, which will be held November 3rd through the 10th, hosted by our friends at Greater Midland and the Midland Tennis Center. Again, top tier, amazing professional tennis. Through the years, we've seen the Coco Gauffs and Anna Kournikovas of the world come through. And what I would say is, listen, the Memorial Cup is an amazing once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. But, folks, I don't know if we fully understand and appreciate the Great Lakes Bay region is now home to professional sports, high and low, at the very highest levels. It's an amazing summer and fall here in the Great Lakes Bay region. You have no shortage of events to go out to and enjoy. We'll be back.
Are you interested in adding bushels to your crop this summer? Dr. Greg Willoughby breaks down a unique, proven biological product called Full Scale. So, Greg, Full Scale is really about adding weight to the seed, to the kernel or the soybean, whatever crop it may be. At the end of the day, it's about adding volume and weight.
Correct. Yeah. And so that's mainly based on phosphorus, nitrogen, and the micronutrients that kind of go with that. And we've seen in some of our analysis of kernel composition, up to 20x times movement of those elements going from what an untreated going into a treated. So we're definitely moving more phosphorus, more nitrogen, more zinc, more manganese into those kernels.
To learn more about Full Scale, download the Field Lane podcast wherever you get your podcast or contact your Element representative.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online at hims.com/radio. Through HIMS, you'll get a free medical consultation to determine the ED medication that's best for you, discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100% online process, and a range of treatment options, including trusted generic alternatives to the name brands, at up to 95% off. ED is personal, and at HIMS, so is treating it. Just go to hims.com/radio and get connected to a licensed medical provider online for free, with zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, hims.com/radio. That's hims.com/radio for your free online visit. hims.com/radio.
That's all for this hour of the Art Lewis Show, presented by Westside Decorating Center. I want to thank Art personally for joining us again today for the MBS International Daily Memorial Cup update, and our good friend Craig Goslin out at the Fortress for joining us to talk about the Memorial Cup and the weekend at hand. In the next hour, I'm going to be joined by Dallas Rao, Executive Director of the Great Lakes Bay Mental Health Partnership. But first, the news.
Broadcasting from the Stormmaster Exterior Studios, WSGW, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, WSGW-FM, Carlton.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Progressive Insurance.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez. Donald Trump spoke outside the courthouse in New York, where jurors have returned for a second day of deliberating in the former president's criminal hush money trial.
It's a disgrace The millions and millions of dollars that are spent daily on this case. Outside, it looks like it's Fort Knox.
I'm Matt Piper at the courthouse in Lower Manhattan. It's been a long week and a long trial in general for these jurors. 6 weeks of testimony, an entire day of closing arguments Tuesday, and now a second day of deliberating. While yesterday ended rather early around 4 p.m., the judge says he's going to ask them to stay late today if needed to try to reach a verdict.
Right now, they're rehearing testimony from two key witnesses, former National Enquirer publisher David Pecker and former Trump fixer Michael Cohen. The White House has just announced President Biden will head overseas next week.
It's been 80 years since the D-Day landings in Normandy, and President Biden will be there to mark the event. French President Emmanuel Macron will host the president on June 8th for talks after the ceremony. This will be Biden's first state visit to France. He'll be in the country from June 5th through June 9th.
CBS's Linda Kenyon from the White House. Slovenia's government announced last hour it will endorse a motion to recognize a Palestinian state, becoming the 10th member of the 27-nation EU to do so, with Norway, Spain, and Ireland the latest among them. A 58-year-old livery driver from Pakistan is charged with attempted murder, reckless driving, and hate crimes after New York City police say he tried to run down students outside a yeshiva in Brooklyn as he yelled about killing all the Jews. This woman lives on the block.
I find that's not right, because we all one. We're created by one God, so we should learn to love each other.
No one was injured. There are new signs North Korea may be giving Russia an assist in its war on Ukraine. Correspondent Cammie McCormick.
The Defense Intelligence Agency has released an unclassified report which claims North Korean missile debris has been found throughout Ukraine. The agency says its report highlights the evolving and strengthening relationship between North Korea and Russia.
Take something to keep your cholesterol levels in check. It may be warding off cancer. CBS's Jim Krasula has the details.
Statin drugs that are commonly used to lower cholesterol may block a particular protein seen in the development of cancer that results from chronic inflammation. That's according to a new study from researchers at the Massachusetts General Hospital's Cancer Center.
The Dow is down 359 points in early trading, S&P off 14. This is CBS News.
And now, a list of things from Progressive Insurance. Home, auto, boat, motorcycle, RV, ATV. Progressive protects them all. Learn more about bundling at Progressive.com.
This segment of Our Community's Care is brought to you by the Saginaw Community Foundation. For the month of May, the Saginaw Community Foundation proudly spotlights the Emmaus House. Emmaus House is a nonprofit transitional sober living home for women coming from jail, prison, or inpatient treatment facilities. Their main focus is substance use disorder and behavioral modification. Emmaus House can house 31 women, and there's no time limit on their stay. We provide all guests with transportation to appointments, meetings, therapy, and work. The only requirement to stay at Emmaus House is that they stay clean and sober, follow the rules and guidelines, and work on goals at their own pace. Guests of Emmaus House are helped with love, support, and resources in our community to change their lives and find a new way to live. Emmaus House is not government funded and welcomes any and all donations, such as monetary, clothing, new and slightly used, paper products, cleaning supplies, and gift cards so that they may purchase necessary items for guests. Visit EmmausHouseSaginaw.com for information on how you can donate.
We're proud to make Pioneer Sugar for you and your family. Proud to be found in your kitchen, the heart of your home. And it doesn't really matter what you make with Pioneer Sugar, whether it's with our granulated white, light brown, or soft confectioners. It's the memories you'll make using it that will matter the most. Pioneer Sugar, pure and all natural, made from sugar beets grown right here. What could be sweeter than that?
Visit the Dow Event Center Theater during the 2024 Memorial Cup presented by Dow. Learn about the Saginaw Spirit's journey to host the Memorial Cup by watching the docuseries Spirit Rising. It's free of charge and happening right now through June 2nd. Go behind the scenes with the team and experience the season highs and lows, episodes airing daily and play every 30 minutes. Don't miss out on the chance to bid on authentic autographed jerseys from the CHL players past and present. Learn more at 2024memorialcup.com. United we soar.
Live from the 100.5 and 790 newsroom, this is WSGW News.
Sunny skies and 61 degrees at 10:05. Good morning, I'm Mike Kirkshire.
A Flint area woman is charged with first-degree murder for allegedly killing another woman at a gas station Sunday. Police were called to the Marathon station at 7022 North Saginaw Street around 1:45 a.m. for a report of a shooting. They discovered the victim, 20-year-old Isis Walker, suffering from at least one gunshot wound. Walker was taken to a local hospital where she died of her injuries. Police were able to locate the 28-year-old suspect, Shahana Thorns, in her home later in the day. She's being held in the Genesee County Jail without bond. A young child suffered a gunshot wound in a drive-by shooting in Flint last night. Police say unknown suspects conducted the shooting near the Banana Boat ice cream shop at the corner of Corunna Road and Walton Avenue. According to police, a 6-year-old girl was sitting in a car on Corunna Road and was struck by gunfire. She was taken to a local hospital where she's listed in good condition. The incident remains under investigation. A well-known pin-counting business is celebrating its 85th anniversary this year. Wilson's Cheese Shop at 130 North Maple Street got its start in 1939, founded by Lawrence Wilson and wife Inez. Inez was the daughter of Russian immigrant Dan Horn, who invented old-fashioned pin-counting cheese. Over the years, the store has changed hands and expanded its offerings to include specialty meats and fish, gourmet sweets, Michigan wines and spirits, and more. Wilson's will be a signature feature during Pincounting's Cheesetown Challenge Race and Festival on June 21st and 22nd. WSGW News Time 10:07.
Summertime, the best time for being outdoors. Unless your knees, your shoulders, backs, hips, you got pain. You think you won't be able to enjoy the summer as much because of that pain, but you can. Hey, this is Charlie Rood with WSGW. I'm here to tell you about QC Kinetics offering non-surgical joint pain relief. QC Kinetics has advanced treatments that harness your own body's ability to restore and repair damaged joint tissue. What that means is you can walk, you can run, you can hike, play golf, all those outdoor things you can do, and all do it pain-free. QC Kinetics, under the leadership of former orthopedic surgeon Dr. Mitchell Scheinkup, tens of thousands of patients have reclaimed their mobility, and you can too. You do it by taking that first step. That first step is to call QC Kinetics, and you get a free consultation. You call 810-243-8529. That's 810-243-8529. Live your best life again. Call QC Kinetics, that free consultation, 810-243-8529.
WSGW News Time 10:08. The weather forecast is coming up. Michigan is aiming to cut energy costs for low-income homes through energy initiatives. Governor Gretchen Whitmer announced at the Mackinac Policy Conference $367 million in rebates from the Solar for All program through the U.S. Department of Energy. The funding aims to help 18,000 low-income households install solar on their roof or in their communities and also improve energy efficiency through new appliances. A new poll released will give legislators a better understanding of why young people would be willing to move to Michigan. Darylyn Horn has this report.
The poll conducted by Michigan's population growth effort surveyed more than 6,000 young people from 15 different cities across the U.S. Michigan Chief of Growth Officer Hillary Doe explained some of the poll's most important findings.
Welcoming communities and diverse communities, community safety really rose to the top in the poll, as well as investment in some critical social issues, including, for example, climate change investments and climate action that rose to the top as being really, really important to young folks across the country.
Doe says the poll's findings are being discussed at the Mackinac Policy Conference. And with Michigan being 49th in the nation when it comes to residents who live here but weren't born here, she says all that could change soon. Darylyn Horn for the Michigan News Network.
Michigan is still facing a nursing shortage, but efforts to staff hospitals are improving. The Michigan Health and Hospital Association reports recruitment and retention efforts last year helped fill 61,000 positions. However, there's still a reported 19,000 vacancies statewide, with 4,700 of those in the nursing field. Overall, hospitals employ 217,000 employees, remaining one of the largest employers in many Michigan communities. WSGW News Time 1010. I'm Mike Percha.
Here's your WSGW weatherology forecast.
We'll see sunny skies here for today with a high into the upper 60s. Winds out of the northeast around 5 to 10 miles per hour. And for tonight, mostly clear with a low around 45. Friday, sunshine, a high of 78 degrees. Then by Saturday, we'll have a slight chance for showers here late. Mostly cloudy and a high around 76. Sunday, partial sunshine develops, high of 78 degrees. Monday, a chance for some rain showers here late. Increasing clouds, a high around 83. Tuesday, chance for showers and storms, high of 83. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki with the WSGW Weatherology Forecast. Currently, it's 59.
Now, the only local radio talk show offering you the chance to ask your questions and express your opinions from around your block to around the world. The Art Lewis Show is on 100.5 and 790 WSGW and online, WSGW.com. The Art Lewis Show is presented by Westside Decorating Center.
Good morning and welcome to the Art Lewis Show. This is Matt Felan with the Great Lakes Bay Regional Alliance, filling in for Art here this week, as Art is doing double duty, folks. He's at the Memorial Cup every day, every night, and we're all trying to do our part to get through a historic week here in the Great Lakes Bay region. And my job is to kind of help out here for the week and talk quite a bit about the Memorial Cup because it's impossible not to. But at the same time, we want to shift gears and talk about some of the great things that are going on in the Great Lakes Bay region or some of the challenges and issues that we work on. And so with that this morning, I'm pleased to welcome my good friend and colleague, Dallas Rao, Executive Director of the Great Lakes Bay Mental Health Partnership. Good morning, Dallas.
Good morning, Matt. How are you?
Good. It's good to have you back here on the Art Lewis Show. You know, last hour, we were talking to Craig Goslin, and yesterday at the Memorial Cup, the Spirit hosted with SVSU and others a remarkable event where they brought in 3,000 middle school students from across the region, and they heard a presentation about mental health and how to deal with issues and the importance of mental health, just like physical health. And, you know, I'm just going to start by asking, how important is it that we openly talk about and discuss and focus on the importance of mental health in our daily lives at all levels?
Yeah, it's so important. And I love hearing that they had those conversations starting with these youth so they understand that it's okay to talk about how we're feeling and how mental health affects us. Because if we start talking about that, just like we talk about our physical health, we'll help to eliminate stigma. We'll help to get people the help that they need faster. And it's just so wonderful to hear that it's starting with our youth, because if it starts with them, it'll continue through their adulthood, and it's going to be a great catalyst for change. And that's an important initiative and focus of the partnership. So I'm so happy to hear that.
Yeah, one thing, you know, through the years that I think we've seen when it comes to mental health is there seems to be a stigma associated with it. And for years, it was a negative stigma. And I think for years, you know, to give an example, if you walked into the studio right now with a broken arm
Mhm.
and the bone was hanging out from the skin, right, I would panic and immediately rush to your aid.
Yep.
We would call 911. We would wrap a tourniquet around it. We would talk to you. We would reassure you that things are going to be okay. Bottom line, we would interject into the situation immediately. The
Yep.
entire studio would run to your aid, and everyone would do whatever we could because we saw you had a broken arm, right? Zero stigma associated. You broke your arm, right?
Yep.
You walked out, you hit the curb, you fell, down you went. It was an injury, right?
Yep.
At the same point, if you walked in and your behaviors were erratic, if you suddenly seemed maybe angry,
Mhm.
if your facial expressions were showing pain and consternation, if you were saying things that were completely abnormal, we would immediately think, whoa, what's up with her? Or, wow, I'm not going to touch that with a 10-foot pole. Or, maybe we just want to ignore that, right? Not my
Mhm.
business. I don't even want to know what's going on. We were inclined to often think, hey, that's not our issue or our problem. But if we saw someone that looked like they may be going through a mental health dilemma or a mental health emergency, we
Mhm.
oftentimes don't react the same way. But at the end of the day, these are both medical issues, aren't they?
Yes, absolutely, 100%.
So it's important that this morning for the next hour, we have this type of discussion. It's important that the Spirit did that with our middle schoolers yesterday around the Memorial Cup. Folks, it's something that we have to normalize, that it is okay to talk about mental health, that we all have a responsibility, just like we would if someone came in with a broken arm. If we suspect or fear that someone is going through a mental health crisis, there are ways in which we can help people. There are ways that we can get them the resources and the care that they need, just like we would that broken arm. And the Great Lakes Bay Mental Health Partnership, which is an arm of the Alliance that's working in this space, is working on exactly those type of initiatives right now, correct?
Yes.
So Dallas, can you tell us currently today, what are the various focus areas of the Great Lakes Bay Mental Health Partnership?
Yeah, so we have 3 focus areas. We want to help advance anti-stigma and community culture, which we just talked about, that stigma piece. And we want to expand workplace mental health programs. We know getting into the workplace is a great place to meet people and to reach those folks and to connect with them and get them the resources that they may need. And then finally, we want to enhance our mental health provider access. So letting our providers know that we're here for them, that we're keeping and retaining those folks in our region, and to help the folks who may need their services in the future.
So let's unpack these one at a time. So for this segment, let's unpack the first one, which is that anti-stigma piece that we've been talking about for the last few minutes. What specifically is the Mental Health Partnership doing on the anti-stigma front? And how are you kind of taking action each and every day to break down those stigmas and to make people more comfortable talking about mental health and maybe not putting a negative connotation with mental health? We never, again, another great example, you hear someone has cancer and you're like, oh my goodness, that's terrible. I'm so sorry. We're going to do a benefit. We're going to help. No one ever looks at it as a negative thing in terms of, we can't talk about it, or maybe that's your fault. There's no stigma to it. It is an unfortunate, horrible thing. But when it comes to mental health, that stigma is there. So what actions is the partnership taking?
Yeah, so the partnership is taking a couple different actions. So we have what's called the I Matter Anti-Stigma campaign. And this is a really neat grassroots effort that started in the region. We invite storytellers who have a mental health story to share, and we can do a recording of those folks. We can have a written story. And if you go to our website at greatlakesbay.org, you can actually check out some of those stories and hear from these people who are talking about when they noticed they had a mental health issue, how they got the help that they needed, and then ultimately that story of hope and how that's helped them resolve or move to the needed support and resources that they needed. And that's also a really good place to just open that conversation we talked about, right? With understanding that stigma, it's okay not to be okay, and helping people know that they're not alone. We also have some mental health first aid classes that we're offering. And this is a really great place to also talk about like the first aid, right? With our broken arm, we know what to do. We can get people stop the bleeding. We can call 911. We want to get people the same way with mental health. And when you ask someone, how are you today? And they say, I'm not okay, helping people work through how to respond to that. This mental health first aid courses from the National Council of Wellbeing will give you those tools and the skills that you need to help someone in those situations. So we offer some adult classes and we have youth classes currently. And we actually have one coming up on June 6th, Matt. So you can check us out on Facebook and there's an event there. So please check that out and get signed up if you're interested.
So Dallas, we have room for that. How many folks can we still accommodate to take part in the mental health first aid?
Yeah, great question. So last I looked, we have a room for about 20, I want to say. And $25 fee will reserve your seat today. And that's June 6th. It's going to be at the Bay Area Neck ISD, a wonderful facility, great for learning, really comfortable atmosphere with 2 great trainers. Lunch will be provided, snacks and beverages. So yeah, come on out and it'll be a great day.
And those trainings, how long do they take each day? And what should someone expect when they're coming into one of those?
Yeah, so the training is going to start at 9 a.m. It'll go till 3 p.m. And you'll have a couple hours of some pre-course work ahead of time to get you prepared for the class. And we want to have a good check of kind of coming into the course, what you knew about it, and then we'll do a post check after the course is completed. It'll be about a good 6 hours of content in class, really good back and forth conversational pieces, some group work. And it's just a great place to learn in a safe environment about that adult mental health first aid. That it's just valuable, life-saving, and life-changing training. So.
Yeah, I've had the opportunity to attend. There was a 2-day session, and I was able to make one of the 2 classes. So I'm not certified yet. I have a little bit more work to do, but it was incredibly well run. Kind of an eye-opening training of how you deal with situations. They gave great real-life examples. You got to witness via video different scenarios play out of what's going on. It was fascinating to see the feedback from all the attendees. All of us saw things that I saw this, someone else saw that. We picked out different clues and cues. When we talk about this training, who's great to go through this training? Give me the type of people that should be going through mental health first aid training.
Anybody and everybody. Anybody and everybody. So the adults, of course, is going to be teaching adults how to interact with other adults who may be going through a mental health or substance use disorder. And we have the youth training as well. And that's going to be for adults who work with youth specifically. So they can maybe identify the same exact symptoms or different things with the youth. So, but the adult class coming up is going to be great. And I really like too that it teaches you the language, because language matters. And that's going to be a big piece of stigma, right? If we start to better understand how we can talk about mental health and we do it in a way where people don't feel embarrassed, I think that's a really great step. And that class is a really strong step in that way. And also the self-care piece. That's so important, because if you do encounter someone that's going through a mental health concern, it can be draining for the individual. And we've had some feedback from folks that said 2 days after training, they ran into an individual who needed their support. And because of the class, they were able to help them. But then they immediately enacted their self-care plan that the class taught them how to do. And that can keep them moving forward and helping more and more people in the region. So that's advancing our anti-stigma campaign. That's getting people connected to resources. And that's what we want. We know there's about an 11-year period between symptom onset and treatment, and this is helping to reduce that time frame.
So this is helpful. So you heard Dallas. If you're driving down Bay Road right now, if you're listening from a dentist office, if you're in the comfort of your own home and you're thinking, who should sign up for this? We're talking to you. Again, go on the Facebook page for the Great Lakes Bay Mental Health Partnership and learn all about it. And we will take a break and be back with Dallas Rao.
For over 25 years, Line-X has been the only place to go for quality spray-on bed liner.
But did you know Tri-City Line-X is now ProLine Coatings? They offer rust proofing and undercoating too. Their exclusive process will keep your new or used vehicle protected.
That's great news. Now, the guys at ProLine Coatings have the only wax-based, rust proofing, and military spec undercoat to ensure years of protection.
In fact, all new vehicles protected will get a lifetime warranty. No yearly touch-ups required.
And because ProLine's rust proofing process is wax-based, you won't have any long-term dripping or mess to clean up later. Rust-proof your car, truck, or SUV and protect it year-round.
Tri-City Line-X is now ProLine Coatings, and they're located on Wilder Road in Bay City. Give them a call at 989-671-9820.
They also offer Stone Guard for rocker panels and bumpers and floor coatings for snowmobile and UTV trailers.
Again, ProLine Coatings number in Bay City is 989-671-9820. That's 989-671-9820.
I worked on the ranch here, first with my grandfather and then my dad. On this land, we do have a lot of sun, but also have a lot of wind. So having the turbines on the ranch is a benefit to us. I was apprehensive about the whole project, but now I think it's a win-win for everybody. We will produce power for the folks around this area, and this land will have a legacy. As a rancher, I think that's what we really hope for.
Fuel for Thought, presented by the American Clean Power Association.
Progressive presents good news, bad news, dumb news, then great news. Good news. A letter in your mailbox says you could save money bundling your home and auto insurance with Progressive. Bad news. You saw it after your teenager backed the car into the mailbox. Dumb news. A new mailbox, basically a box on a stick, costs up to $400. Great news. You decide to see if you could save money bundling at progressive.com and go with paperless mail instead. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states.
I'm Stuart Varney, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Stocks opened lower, dragged down by Salesforce, which opened down 16%. The business software company and parent of Slack was more cautious in its forecast. Discount retailers Dollar General and Burlington stores both reported upbeat earnings as shoppers look for bargains. Dollar General shares are up 1%, Burlington shares up 15%. Best Buy's quarter was mixed. Earnings top forecast. Sales declined. The stock's up 11%. Foot Locker's business is improving. Its earnings were upbeat. The stock is up 26%. Kohl's lost money in its recent quarter, and it is cutting its forecast for the year. Kohl's shares dropped 23% at the market open. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Jenny Coselda. Invested in you.
Something amazing is happening when power outages strike. Teams are powering through them. That's because CDW Solutions architects are building more resilient IT and electrical infrastructures with Schneider Electric. With EcoCare remote monitoring services and 24/7 support, your organization can do more than keep the lights on. Schneider Electric and CDW make amazing happen. Learn more at cdw.com/Schneider Electric.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
Good morning and welcome back to the Art Lewis Show. It's Matt Felan with the Great Lakes Bay Regional Alliance filling in for Art this week. And this hour, I am joined by Dallas Rao with the Great Lakes Bay Mental Health Partnership. And we're chatting about the various initiatives that the partnership's taking on to address mental health issues here in the region. And we've covered stigma. But one of the next pieces that the partnership is working on is what you refer to as work-based place mental health. I don't even know if I said that right, or workplace-based mental
Close
health.
enough.
And that is kind of the belief that employers have a responsibility to talk about mental health and to encourage mental health treatment for their employees. And that one of the best places that we can get to people on a daily basis is through their employer and through work. So what exactly is the Mental Health Partnership doing to encourage this?
Yeah, great question. So really it starts with education, right? If the employers don't even realize that there is more to do and easy ways that they can do it, that's a great start for any workplace to understand that they really can be a catalyst for this change. So one thing that we like to do is just help them understand that starting with them, leadership and amongst their staff, openly talking about mental health can be a really good catalyst for change and getting people connected to resources. So having that be part of a safety tailgate in the morning or one of your safety meetings, having that be part of new employee orientation can be a really great start. Even offering an employee assistance program or an EAP is a really great offering as well to get folks connected to resources that they may need and openly talking about it, just like we talked about in the first segment, talking about and maybe having an employee come forward and talk about their story and having kind of a anti-stigma campaign and I Matter storyteller in their own workplace can be such an important piece of that workplace mental health program.
So in this instance, the Alliance, through one of our previous board members, J.W. Fisher, and Fisher Companies, actually created a program and a guide or a pilot, if you will, of how they could really impact that workplace-based mental health. Can you talk specifically about what JW did and what they
Yes.
were able to accomplish at Fisher and the tools we now have in place so that other companies across the region that are listening this morning might be able to replicate those efforts?
Yeah, absolutely. So what Fisher Contracting did is it's quite incredible. And there is, if you go to our website, thegreatlakesbay.com, there is a document called the Owner's Guide to Implementing a Workplace Program. And in there, you'll find a checklist that kind of can give you some insight, kind of taking that little gut check and looking at that checklist and saying, where do maybe I have gaps in my own workplace? Or what opportunities do we have? And where can we lean in and maybe do more? So what JW Fisher did was back in, I think it was 2018, he actually had received a couple of calls that a couple of his foremen were not performing the way that they had expected or they had come to know. So noticing that unnatural behavior, right? We talked about that a little bit. And so they had a conversation and they realized, okay, you guys need to get some support. And they connected them to a mental health facility that they got connected to a therapist. It was going great. They knew it was successful for other folks. And then he went to a summit put on by the Great Lakes Bay Regional Alliance about mental health and realized, wow, this is a bigger problem than I even realized. So he had just seen that change in his foreman, sent them to get the help that they needed, and then realized, wow, mental health is a bigger issue and I can do more. So JW took it upon himself and his team to really revamp their benefits program. And I give such accolades to them for doing so because we talk about that mental health and physical health going hand in hand and talking the same way. They actually changed their benefits program to have the physical copays be the same as a mental health copay, which is profound. So eliminating that barrier for employees to get the help that they need and the connection to resources was such a great step. There is a full comprehensive kind of business case listed on on our website and within the owner's guide that kind of walks you through those steps and what they did and gives all the money and the costs associated with it. It may not make sense for every employer, but it's a great start and something to really learn from. And overall, it wasn't as costly as you may think. And I think that's a really good piece of insight that people may not realize.
Yeah, I think JW did a great job of making the business case for why you invest in mental health to a much more substantial level as an employer. Because, think about it this way. If you have an employee that has to be out and it's an incredibly productive, important part of your team, and they're out for an extended period of time due to a mental health issue, think about the impact that makes to the bottom line of your company. And in JW's case, if he has, two major employees that are working on massive projects, to quantify that, it can literally be hundreds of thousands of dollars of lost productivity from having these folks out. Or if you have an employee that, God forbid, harms themselves or commits suicide, what is the cost associated with losing that employee? What is the impact to their coworkers and the other employees? You have to then go replace that person. The world continues on. You have to retrain those people. You have to go out and recruit them. It's one of those things, much like, gosh, I don't want to make it sound like this, but if you don't get oil changes on your car and you don't fix the tires on your car and you don't do the daily maintenance on your car, eventually it falls apart, right? And as an employer, if you're not looking out for the good health of your employees, and in this case, the mental health of your employees, and they fall apart, I mean, a lot can happen. And in JW's case, the other thing that really was noticeable for me, these are dock workers, these are construction workers, these are truck drivers, these are road builders. We're not talking about a lot of folks in an industry that want to sit down and talk about their feelings historically, right?
Right.
And one of the things that I noticed that he did by implementing this, every safety briefing that they do at Fisher now incorporates a discussion on mental health. And just like they'll talk about safety in the workplace, which is vitally important on any job, adding in that component of mental health is important. And think about how they tie. Because if your mental health's off and you're working on things that are dangerous and your mind's not where it needs to be, you can impact the safety of your coworkers, the safety of yourself if you're not mentally checked in there.
Exactly.
I think he did a great job shifting the culture, but then he went further and made the investments that, hey, getting that copay is now the same as going to the orthopedic surgeon. That copay is now the same as, going to any other specialist that you may see. And the other piece of feedback that I saw from what he did was the feedback from the employees and the employees' families. I read testimonials from spouses that said, I got my husband back by talking about this and offering this. He got the treatment he needed. Bobby is like himself again. Things are so much better at home. But if JW as the employer doesn't do this and make that investment, none of these things happen. The kind of the model he's built is revolutionary. And here's the best part, Dallas. If someone's listening right now going, you know what? They're right. And we need to be a part of this. And our employer, my company needs to do this. What do they do if they want to follow suit and kind of join that effort and learn more about what JW did?
Yeah. First, I'd invite you to go to our website at greatlakesbay.com/mental health and check out the workplace mental health page. And in there is all the links. There's videos of JW giving that testimonial, talking more in depth about how they realized it, what they did to make those changes and implementations. And then there is a link to the owner's guide with the checklist of resources and things that your workplace might be able to do and those opportunities there. But reach out, give me a call, shoot me an email, and we can have a conversation. There are other ways that the partnership would be looking to help you. And we talked about the mental health first aid training. We can also do that for workplaces as well, which is a wonderful way to get the conversation going and started amongst the employees and looking out for each other in that way too.
That's great. Well, we're going to take a break, and when we come back, we're going to continue discussing the efforts of the Great Lakes Bay Mental Health Partnership.
Are you 65 or older and currently on an employer group insurance plan? You should be working with a local independent agency, not the insurance company, to get you the Medicare plan that fits your needs. MCare Choices, formerly Medicare Choices in Saginaw, is an independent agency that will work for you. They will shop your needs with major insurance carriers and get excellent coverage with competitive premium options. MCare Choices, formerly Medicare Choices, 989-899-7820. That's 989-899-7820.
Who knew? Fresh air is a destination. Breathe in the glacial carved canvas of northern Michigan's finest golf courses and have your breath taken away by scenic vistas from tee to green. The perfect place to perfect your game in more ways than one. The waves, woods, and wonder of Bel Air. Escape the everyday. Discover the magic of 90 holes at one resort at Shanty Creek Resort in Bel Air and online at shantycreek.com.
Welcome to retirement. Now, replace your paycheck. To local financial coach Kevin Ray, this is what retirement planning is all about.
Building monthly paychecks. And how you build those monthly paychecks is going to determine how well in retirement you're going to enjoy it. So sit down and build a good framework, and it starts with income.
So build your framework with Kevin and the team at Insight Folios today by calling 888-885-PLAN. That's 888-885-7526.
Are you the decision maker in your company? Consider this. For the first time in decades, there's a better option for a corporate card and spend management platform. Meet Ramp, the only corporate card and spend management system designed to help you spend less money so you can make more. Most corporate credit cards offer points as incentives, but those points amount to less than their worth in real cash value. Ramp's business cards offer you cash back, real money in your pocket. Plus, you control who spends what with each vendor. And Ramp software collects and verifies receipts automatically, which means you'll stop wasteful spending and close your books in hours instead of days. Businesses that use Ramp add up to 5% to their bottom line the first year. If you're a decision maker, adding Ramp could be one of the best decisions you've ever made. And now get $250 when you join Ramp for free. Just go to ramp.com/free. Ramp.com/free. ramp.com/free.
Cards issued by Sutton Bank and Celtic Bank, members of FDIC. Terms and conditions apply.
We could try to explain what it feels like to get your work done on a John Deere. The way a Z-Track mower finishes in half the time you thought it would. Or how much easier it is to move mountains of soil with the 1 Series tractor. We could even go into detail about how it feels to tow up to 4,000 pounds behind a Gator XUV. But if you really want to know what it's like to run with us, You just have to get in the seat. Learn more at johndeere.com/get in the seat or visit a dealer near you.
A healthy weight, more energy, and smooth, regular bowel movements. 3 things everyone strives for.
It's me, Chuck Norris. There's one really important thing we don't talk about enough: our health. Achy joints, digestive issues, weight gain, and fatigue. We're told these are normal signs of aging. So working with a team of health experts, we came up with Morning Kick.
Morning Kick is a revolutionary formula combining 10 different supplements in one. Probiotics that help you lose weight, prebiotics for digestion, superfoods for muscles and joints, and several of the most powerful anti-aging supplements on earth. It'll help you feel youthful, energized, focused, and help manage stress.
Anybody can achieve great health regardless of their age.
Go to roundhouseprovisions.com. Use code SAVE or text SAVE to 511-511 and claim 40% off today.
Every purchase comes with our 90-day money-back guarantee.
Text SAVE to 511-511. Morning Kick. These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Tax fees may apply.
Broadcasting online courtesy Stormmaster Exteriors. And from the Stormmaster Exteriors studios, this is WSGW.
Good morning and welcome back to the Art Lewis Show. This is Matt Felan with the Great Lakes Bay Regional Alliance. And this hour, we're talking about the importance of impacting mental health for people across the region and how the Great Lakes Bay Mental Health Partnership is specifically working in this space. And the partnership has 3 priorities. We've covered the first 2 through the show. The importance of breaking down stigma and the anti-stigma campaign, how employers can impact mental health through workplace-based mental health programs. And now finally, the last major initiative of the partnership today is provider well-being. So Dallas, can you talk about what provider well-being is and how it really kind of came to the forefront through the COVID pandemic?
Yeah, so I think you talk to any provider and they would openly share about, how overworked and how hard that time was for them. And, we can only imagine what they went through and what they really saw. And our mental health providers are no different. And I think the pandemic even kind of exacerbated that. We knew mental health was a concern before the pandemic, but post-COVID, it's just continued. And, a lot of people are calling it a pandemic in and of itself. So we need to take care of those mental health providers. We need to make sure that they feel supported, that they feel connected and networked to their colleagues, and that we keep them here in the region. We want to retain that talent. I know that's an initiative and a focus of the Alliance. We want to make sure that they stay here so we can keep the people in the region, getting the provided care that they need in a most efficient time as possible.
So Dallas, one question that I think of when we talk about kind of that provider well-being is just, what is our access to providers in this region? Do we have enough mental health providers across the region? Because if you don't, those offices are inundated. Their workload's tremendous. They have a lot on their shoulders. They can't get to everyone. Just as a working professional, whenever you have that volume of work that's on your plate every day, that can be pretty overwhelming. So I guess my first question for you is, do we have enough access to providers, or is that an opportunity and an area where we really need to improve?
I think from what I'm hearing, it can be a piece of education and maybe not even understanding all the resources that exist in the region. If you look at the numbers, I think they might tell you that the numbers are okay with providers, but people getting access to them is more the issue, understanding how to access them, or maybe their insurance doesn't cover, or cost can be a barrier for a lot of those folks. I would point people to check out My Hope portal. And there are a lot of links in there and a lot of connected resources that can help you navigate to finding providers. Talking to your primary care physician is a great way to start as well, to understand what and how you can connect to the provided care that you may need. It's something that we continue to work on every day, and talking to those folks who are doing the work every day, and really just trying to share and make sure that we're connecting people and getting the word out about how you can connect and how you can reach those resources and help.
So I want to, just give credit to the CMU Medical School under Dr. George Kakano's leadership, focusing on getting more of the medical students to pursue a career coming out of medical school in mental health fields, more psychiatrists coming out of that program. And it's designed to keep that talent here in the region whenever and however possible. Because the reality is, if we break down these stigmas, if more employers make investments in mental health and bring this to the forefront, the goal really should be more people seeking treatment. If that's the case, we are going to need more providers as we move along. So as we kind of look long term, it's going to be important, number one, that we get those providers, but number two, that we do have that infrastructure in place to keep their well-being top of mind and to make sure that they're functioning professionals and that they're able to do the self-care that they need. This is, when we talk about this is something that's really going to grow exponentially over the course of the next few years, isn't it?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. Well, it's major issues that we're dealing with, and glad that our partners across the region are coming together to focus on it. So we're going to take another break. When we come back, we're going to talk about what's next for the Great Lakes Bay Mental Health Partnership, what might be next, and maybe share with all of you a few ways you can seek treatment if you need help.
Jim Wilson, are you going viral?
What? Really? Do I need a vaccine?
No, not that kind of viral. Your Ford dealership in Saginaw, Wilson Ford Lincoln, is all over social media with comments like best car buying experience ever. And Wilson Ford just picked my car up for service. But this one's my favorite. They gave me way more for my trade-in than anywhere else we looked.
That's wonderful. I'm happy to hear customers are enjoying their experience with us.
Jim, what makes a Wilson Ford experience different from other dealers?
It's really simple. We have always specialized in selling every vehicle for as little as possible, not as much as possible, paying top dollar for trade-ins, and making financing painless, transparent, and simple.
And how do you explain this comment? First time at a dealership, they actually listen to me.
We listen and we do as we promise, and we think you'll like that.
For the very best automotive experience, visit Wilson Ford Lincoln on Bay Road in Saginaw or wilsonford.com. Nobody sells for less.
Save big money on outdoor storage solutions when you shop at Menards. Protect vehicles, boats, or outdoor equipment with a VersaTube storage built-in. They're made with durable galvanized steel and quick-slip frame connections for an easy do-it-yourself assembly. View our entire selection of VersaTube storage buildings today on Menards.com. Plus, check out our weekly flyer and view all of the great deals happening at Menards this week.
Save big money at Menards.
Hey, it's Jesse Kelly. Are you still on the fence about owning gold? It's time to pull the trigger with the Oxford Gold Group and buy gold and silver. Nobody can predict the future, but we can't put our head in the sand either. The Oxford Gold Group are the pros. They make owning gold and silver simple and easy to understand. Call Oxford Gold Group right now, and you may qualify for up to $10,000 in free precious metals. Call 833-995-GOLD. That's 833-995-GOLD.
Let's see, if something costs less, but people are happier with it, that sounds like something to look into, and that is MediShare. Maybe you've heard switching to MediShare to pay for healthcare can save many families up to $500 a month, and that is huge. But it's also true that people are way more satisfied after making the switch, too. The member satisfaction rate for MediShare is double that of the typical health insurance plan. Double. MediShare works, too. It's been around for 30 years. Members have shared more than $5 billion of each other's bills. People love having telehealth and a huge nationwide PPO network. So, yeah, really, you can save a ton and like it better. Imagine being happy with how you're taking care of your health care. So if you're self-employed or part of the gig economy, or you just want a plan you're happy with, you can call right now. You'll get a price within 2 minutes. So see what you can save. This is a very, very smart use of 2 minutes. Here's the number you need. Call 877-26-BIBLE. That's 877-26-BIBLE. 877-26-BIBLE.
My friends swim no matter the season, but my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis can sometimes take me out of the moment. Now, thanks to Skyrizi and Clear Skin, count me in. With Skyrizi, risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy. 3 out of 4 people achieve 90% clear skin at 4 months.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check for infection and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms such as fever, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, or if you plan to or recently received a vaccine.
Thanks to Skyrizi, there's nothing on my skin, and that means everything. Ask your doctor today about Skyrizi, the #1 dermatologist-prescribed biologic in psoriasis, and visit skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI to learn more.
Good morning. How was your sleep last night? Today's workers are asked to do more for less. So when you go to bed and spend 1/3 of your life there, you need quality sleep. Get it with a quality mattress from Sanitary Mattress. You can visit all the so-called sleep stores, or you can rest, assured that the mattress you're using is manufactured right here in the Great Lakes Bay region to your specifications. Your dollars are spent and stay right here in our local economy. Your time in bed may be cut short by today's demanding world, but don't be fooled. You can still get a quality good night's sleep on a Sanitary Mattress. And they feature 1-hour window of delivery of your mattress to your home. If you have an RV or boat, Sanitary Mattress will custom make a mattress for you. Can the box stores do that? Visit the Sanitary Mattress Factory and showroom serving this area since 1935. Set your GPS to 5343 Janes Road, Saginaw, just east of the Harry Brown Airport. Visit them on the web at sanitarymattress.com or call 753-1757. So, folks, it's Matt Felan here with the Great Lakes Bay Regional Alliance, here ending the final segment of Thursday's edition of the Art Lewis Show. Art has been spending his week out at the Memorial Cup, and so it's all hands on deck here at WSGW. So happy to help out this week and host the show for Art so he can do quite a bit of work out there with the Memorial Cup. And it gives us a chance to talk about a lot of things going on in the Great Lakes Bay region as well. And so this morning, I'm joined by Dallas Rao, Executive Director of the Great Lakes Bay Mental Health Partnership. And we've been talking about their various efforts to really address mental health issues impacting folks in our community. And we spent the hour going through their priorities. But Dallas, I think the question I have for you is, what's next? The work is never done. If there's another area that the partnership might like to address here in the years ahead, what do you think that looks like?
I'd really like to get more involved with our teens. I think that's an important population. It's a critical age. As a mom of a teenager myself, that's something near and dear to my heart. We have a big village of friends we want to take care of. We want to make sure that these kids know how they can talk about their mental health, help their friends through that, any concerns they may be having. And that's where I'd really like to see us take a strong focus in the years ahead.
Yeah, it's one of those age groups, the #1 cause of death for teens in our region and in the country is mental health and suicide specifically. So, you kind of have to look at both. You just can't say they died from suicide. That was the final piece. It was a mental health crisis that caused that final horrific action. And in chatting with everyone, and we've had challenging years, right? These kids have gone through more than we had to with COVID and changing school dynamics, changing styles of learning, having to stay at home, having to wear masks, a lot of different things that have impacted this generation. And, I think it's hard for families if you see your child dealing with a mental health issue. I think the first question you automatically ask is, what do I do? What help do I get them? What's my move? I don't know who to turn to. And so kind of want to start by saying, okay, that's down the road for the partnership to look at how you might engage and how you may be able to to start impacting that group. But there are resources available. So let's start there. So the first thing I would tell anyone, I don't care what the issue is, if you feel that there's a concern you have, start by talking to your primary care physician. So we'll start there. So whether it's you, you're worried about your parents, you're worried about your children, if there's an issue, start with your primary care physician. They have some training in this area. They know the resources that are available. They have relationships with various providers. That is always a very good starting point. So if you feel that there's something going on, set up that appointment with your primary care physician. Go in. That is part of a person's overall health. So it's important that they know because they're going to want to be involved with that. But Dallas, what are other resources? Because you may find that someone is having an emergency right now and you don't have time to wait for that appointment. So what other resources are available that you would encourage people to use if they need to seek treatment?
Yeah, great question, Matt. So if you are someone that you know is suffering from a mental health disorder or crisis, we'd welcome you to plug this in your phone, save it as a contact, 988. That is a suicide and crisis lifeline. You can call or text 988, and you can connect to resources 24/7, 365. If someone is in an imminent emergency, call 911. Get them connected to the help immediately that they may need. We also have a crisis text line. Text hello to 741-741. And there's a full list of resources on our website at greatlakesbay.com/mental health resources.
Well, Dallas, I want to thank you for joining us again. I know the first time you joined us, you were 11 days into the job. You're a veteran now. This work's so vitally important. And I guess, on behalf of the Great Lakes Bay Regional Alliance Mental Health Partnership, I encourage all of you listening, it's okay to talk about mental health, and it's okay to get engaged and make sure you're taking care of yourself. So until next time, thank you, Dallas.
Thanks, Matt.
Summertime, the best time for being outdoors. Unless your knees, your shoulders, backs, hips, you got pain. You think you won't be able to enjoy the summer as much because of that pain, but you can. Hey, this is Charlie Rood with WSGW. I'm here to tell you about QC Kinetics offering non-surgical joint pain relief. QC Kinetics has advanced treatments that harness your own body's ability to restore and repair damaged joint tissue. What that means is you can walk, you can run, you can hike, play golf, all those outdoor things you can do, and I'll do it pain-free. QC Kinetics, under the leadership of former orthopedic surgeon Dr. Mitchell Scheinkup, tens of thousands of patients have reclaimed their mobility, and you can too. You do it by taking that first step. That first step is to call QC Kinetics, and you get a free consultation. You call 810-243-8529. That's 810-243-8529. Live your best life again. Call QC Kinetics, that free consultation, 810-243-8529.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online at hims.com/radio. Through HIMS, you'll get a free medical consultation to determine the ED medication that's best for you, discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100% online process, and a range of treatment options, including trusted generic alternatives to the name brands, at up to 95% off. ED is personal, and at HIMS, so is treating it. Just go to hims.com/radio and get connected to a licensed medical provider online for free, with zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, hims.com/radio. That's hims.com/radio for your free online visit. hims.com/radio.
That wraps up this edition of the Art Lewis Show, presented by Westside Decorating Center. Once again, it's Matt Felan. Been happy to be your guest host here this morning. I want to thank Dallas Rao from the Great Lakes Bay Mental Health Partnership for joining us this morning, talking about such a vitally important issue impacting our community and beyond. Up next will be the Focus program, but first, the news.
Broadcasting from the Stormmaster Exterior Studios, WSGW, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, WSGW-FM, Carlton.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by O'Reilly Auto Parts.
I'm Steve Kathan. Day 2 of jury deliberations in the Donald Trump criminal trial. CBS's Matt Piper says jurors are getting a second listen to some key case elements.
As jurors walked in, Trump's eyes followed them, but no member appeared to meet his gaze. Jurors are taking notes as they've asked that about 30 pages of jury instructions are read back to them. They asked about a portion on making inferences from proven facts. They also asked to rehear testimony from 2 witnesses in the case, David Pecker and Michael Cohen, about key interactions both men said they had with Trump in 2015 and 16. Trump did speak in the hallway, saying he'll comment later today and that it looks like we'll, quote, be here a long time.
The U.S. Supreme Court this morning cleared the way for the National Rifle Association's free speech lawsuit against a former New York official. The NRA alleges banks and insurers were coerced to not do business with the gun rights group after the Parkland, Florida school massacre. Legal analyst Jessica Levinson.
This is classic First Amendment. The government can limit speech, but it can't pick winners and losers. It can't say, I like you, I don't like you, or I like your speech, I don't like your speech.
Well, CBS's Jim Krasula has more on legal action targeting a Catholic archdiocese.
More than 450 people have sued the Catholic Archdiocese of Baltimore over sexual abuse claims ahead of a deadline of tomorrow to do so. Maryland's child victims law that went into effect in October of 2022 eliminated the statute of limitations. The Archdiocese filed for bankruptcy protection just before that law.
The FBI has offered to help Australian authorities look into hackers who claim to have poached the information of hundreds of thousands of Ticketmaster customers all over the world. CBS News tech contributor Ian Scher.
It sometimes feels as though these types of hacks are inevitable, but the reality is that part of what makes them possible is the concentration of power. If there were more ticketing companies and thus more databases, it would be harder for hackers to get their hands on so many people's information.
The U.S.-built pier in Gaza is still out of commission while ships stand by to deliver more aid. CBS's Cammie McCormick.
A Cyprus official says the maritime corridor is still functioning, but aid is being stored on vessels off Gaza until this U.S. pier can be repaired. It was damaged in heavy seas and broke apart. It could be back in business by the middle of next week.
Federal regulators have given Amazon the okay to expand its drone delivery program. Wall Street, the Dow is down 386. This is CBS News.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. Get the parts and service you need fast from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Today, we are talking to the embittered ghost of America's least-known president, Millard Fillmore.
Humbug.
About a historic new instant games series from the Michigan Lottery. 4 tickets that feature portraits of Jefferson, Lincoln, Hamilton, and Jackson.
Wait, but no Fillmore?
Yeah, but there are top prizes up to $2 million and $181 million in total prizes. Gonna play, Millard?
I vote yes.
Instant games, instant fun for everyone.
Like Jefferson, Lincoln, Hamilton, Jackson, and me.
Knowing your limits is always the best bet.
Family Talk with Straight Talk.
You give and you give. It's time to get with Straight Talk Wireless. You get a reliable 5G network and unlimited data, and you get to choose who joins your family plan starting as low as $25 a line. Does it have to be family? It can be family or people you like.
Get more lines and more savings. Switch to Straight Talk for family plan starting as low as $25 a line per month for 4 lines. Find us at Walmart and straighttalk.com. For network management practices, visit straighttalk.com. Family plan discount with 4 lines, all on the Silver Unlimited plan. Taxes and fees apply.
We're going abroad for the first time in years. To Spain.
But we don't speak Spanish.
So we started using Babbel.
And started learning Spanish fast.
With Babbel, you can start having conversations in another language in just 3 weeks. Babbel's conversational method teaches you real-life words and phrases. And with Babbel's interactive bite-sized lessons, you'll remember what you learned.
¿Cómo te llamas?
¿Cómo te llamas?
¿De dónde eres?
¿De dónde eres?
When you learn a language, you want to actually use it. Babbel is designed with that goal in mind.
In just 3 weeks, we're starting to have conversations in Spanish.
Estoy muy emocionado para ir a España contigo.
Aw, he just said, I'm very excited to go to Spain with you. Nos vamos a divertir mucho.
And that means we're going to have a lot of fun.
Sí. Gracias, Babbel.
Babbel, language for life. Celebrating 10 million subscriptions sold. Now try Babbel for free at Babbel.com. Just go to Babbel.com and start learning a new language today. That's Babbel.com. Babbel.com.
Live from the 100.5 and 790 newsroom, this is WSGW News.
Sunny skies and 64 degrees at 11:05. Good morning, I'm Mike Percha. An Illinois man has been charged in the death of a Saginaw woman. Police say 47-year-old Kenya Collins was at a gathering at a home in the 1000 block of Cathay Street on Sunday when she was shot by 63-year-old Willie Allen of Aurora, Illinois, following an argument. Police say the two were previously in a romantic relationship. The man fled the scene in an SUV with Collins. State police troopers conducted a traffic stop of the vehicle at Outer Drive and Holland Avenue in Buena Vista Township and say Allen rammed one of the patrol vehicles with the SUV, then opened fire on police. Police say an exchange of gunfire ensued. However, no one was injured in that exchange. Police were able to arrest Allen and transported Collins to a local hospital where she died from her injuries. Police say a second victim at the house also arrived at a hospital with a gunshot wound to his leg. Allen is being held without bond on charges of open murder, assault with intent to murder, felony firearm, felon in possession of a firearm and ammunition, and other charges. Delta College is hosting a FAFSA workshop geared toward assisting all family members. Here's WSGW's Christiana Malakara.
This workshop is designed to assist the students and the families of the students in the navigation through FAFSA. The workshop will take place on June 18th at the Delta Downtown Saginaw Center, open to the public from 5 until 7 p.m. Financial aid professionals and Delta College staff will be on hand to answer any additional questions. Students do not need to enroll at Delta College to attend this workshop. The first 20 attendees will receive a t-shirt. Delta Downtown Saginaw Center is located at 319 East Genesee in Saginaw. This is Christiana Malagata, News Radio 100.5 and 790.
WSGW News Time 11:07.
While you're comfortable inside your home or business, the weather takes a toll on your roof. Wind, rain, hail, UV rays, and the heat of the sun cause premature failure of your shingles. Everyone loves to save money. If you have an aging roof, don't spend a lot of money on replacement. Get a Roof Max shingle treatment and get some peace of mind. Get more life for less money, guaranteed with Roof Max, a powerful fusion of science and nature. Call Ben today at 859-6751.
Looking for savings while filling up at the pump? Look no further than Fuel Rewards at one of our 26 local Forward Shell convenience stores. Get 10 cents off per gallon when you purchase any 3 Rockstar Energy 16-ounce drinks, or 10 cents off per gallon when you purchase any 2 Icebreakers Ice Cube 40 packs. Visit fuelrewards.com to sign up and learn more. Fuel Rewards at your local Forward Shell convenience stores, a family-owned Michigan tradition since 1925.
WSGW News Time 11:08. The weather forecast is coming up next. In the wake of a crash that killed a 33-year-old mother of 2 at Silver Lake's sand dunes along Lake Michigan earlier this week, the Oceana County Sheriff's Department is looking into whether modification to a dunes racing Jeep played a role in the crash. Katie Price, a mother of 2, was killed when the modified Jeep accelerated rapidly before doing a wheelie and veering out of control. The Jeep hit the Price family vehicle, which hit and killed her. Price managed to push her 2-year-old daughter out of the way. Sheriff Craig Mast says the Jeep was customized with a modified braking system and racing fuel. He says if it's ruled the modifications contributed to the crash, he says it may have constituted recklessness. There's an effort underway in Lansing to give the state more power to investigate data breaches at some of Michigan's biggest companies. Speaking with the Michigan News Network from the Mackinac Policy Conference, Michigan Attorney General Dana Nessel says millions of Michiganders are affected by the breaches.
I'm not just talking about social security numbers and dates of birth. I mean people's medical information, their diagnoses, the tests that they've had performed, what prescriptions they're taking. And so now you have millions of people in the state who have that information floating around out there, causing all kinds of issues for them. And we have practically no guardrails in place.
Most recently, millions were affected by breaches at Ascension Health and AT&T. A man has been charged after killing his own brother during an argument over a dog. Farmington Hills police say on Saturday, a mother called 911 to report her son, 30-year-old Frederick Logan, had shot her 28-year-old son, Ricky Williams III. Logan shot his brother in the chest, according to police, and left the scene. He was arrested Sunday afternoon. On Wednesday, Logan was charged with second-degree murder, felon possession, and 2 counts of felony firearm. He's pleaded not guilty to the charges. WSGW News Time, 11:10. I'm Mike Percha.
Here's your WSGW weatherology forecast. We'll see sunny skies here for today with a high into the upper 60s. Winds out of the northeast around 5 to 10 miles per hour. And for tonight, mostly clear with a low around 45. Friday, sunshine, a high of 78 degrees. Then by Saturday, we'll have a slight chance for showers here late. Mostly cloudy and a high around 76. Sunday, partial sunshine develops, high of 78 degrees. Monday, a chance for some rain showers here late. Increasing clouds, a high around 83. Tuesday, chance for showers and storms, high of 83. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki with the WSGW weatherology forecast. Currently, it's 62.
Now, it's time to focus as WSGW presents the people, the places, the businesses, the culture, the area events and activities, all put into focus on 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW and online WSGW.com. Focus is presented by RoofMax. That's RoofMax with 2 X's.
Good morning and welcome to the Focus program. This is Matt Felan of the Great Lakes Bay Regional Alliance filling in for Art this week as Art has had double duty of the Memorial Cup and some pretty late nights. So I'm taking care of the mornings for him and happy to be here on Focus here on Thursday morning. And I am joined by a phenomenal organization here on Focus, Adoption Option. With me this morning is Tamika Merriman, Vice President, and Stephanie Meyering, Family Preservation Program Manager. Good morning, ladies.
Good morning.
Hey, so I always love to start. Let's start the easiest way possible for our listeners. Can you tell everyone what exactly is Adoption Option? What does the organization do? And how are you impacting folks here in the Great Lakes Bay region?
Sure. So Adoption Option is a child welfare agency. We're a nonprofit. We have been in Midland for 20 years and we service kids and families. So we do foster care, we do adoption, we do family preservation. We have a licensing team that actually goes out and licenses foster homes or people who have expressed interest in becoming a foster parent.
And Tamika, what geography do you specifically cover? Is it Midland County only or do you go beyond Midland?
Beyond Midland, we service the whole Great Lakes Bay region, and we actually just started expanding into Genesee and into Wayne, Oakland, and Macomb. So we're trying to get the word out there that children and families need help.
So it's always kind of a double-edged sword. It's phenomenal that you're expanding the way that you are. It's such a great story that you're able to offer these services to more. But at the same time, that means there's a problem, doesn't it? Mm-hmm. And what's going on in terms of that need for foster care and adoptive parents? How high is that demand right now?
Well, right now we have less than 10,000 children in foster care in the state of Michigan, according to the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services. And so there's just not enough people who step up and say, I can assist this family. And it's not just about kids, it's family in general, which is why we have family preservation as part of our programs, that families just need education, they need resources, they need assistance. And that's what Adoption Option is here to provide.
So give us an idea here in this region. I don't know what the right term is. Is there a backlog? Is there a number of children currently waiting adoption or foster care placement right now?
So there is the Michigan Adoption Resource Exchange, AKA, also known as MARE. There are several children on there who are awaiting adoptive placement. So to answer your question, yes, there are kids who are waiting to be adopted. And so with foster care, our hope is that we can reunite families. When a kid is removed from the home and placed into foster care, at that point, we're still working on reunification. So that's why we need foster parents who are willing to come alongside of parents and say, I'll keep your kid so that you can get the services that you need with hopes of reuniting the family. And then for those kids who cannot be reunited with their family, then they become available for adoption.
So what age range are the children that we're talking about?
0 to 18 for foster care, but then there are also those kids who age out of foster care and still remain in our YVAC programs, young adult voluntary foster care, basically. And so we work with those kids too, teaching them independent living skills and life skills so that they can become independent and live on their own.
It is so great to hear you touch on that, because I think a lot of times heartstrings are pulled when you see a baby, a 2-year-old, a 3-year-old, an 8-year-old, a middle school student. There's something that pulls on the heartstrings. When we're 18, we as a society can get cold, right? And go, oh, they're an adult, they're on their own. If you're a foster child who's kind of aged out of the system, you're done with school, you're 18, you're 19, you're an adult, and you don't have family around due to a lot of circumstances, that's a major gap and issue that impacts a lot of young adults. And I don't know what it is. As I get older, I see an 18-year-old and I think that's a kid. That's a huge gap still, isn't it?
Yeah. And think about your own kids. I have an 18-year-old, I have a 24-year-old, and they still need me quite a bit. And so the same is for these children, if not even more, who may have not had that supportive adult while going through the foster care system, who may have experienced some sort of trauma and not received everything that they need. So like you said, these 18-year-olds just need that extra support as well.
So we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, let's talk about some amazing events and programs coming up with Adoption Option.
Are you looking for a reliable place to buy and sell precious metals and coins? Euclid Avenue Coins, Inc. has you covered. Concerns about the economy in Michigan as well as the United States? Euclid Avenue Coin, Inc. will sell you silver and gold bullion at competitive prices. Euclid Avenue Coin, Inc. is Mid-Michigan's premier dealer for silver and gold bullion, as well as coins of all types. Euclid Avenue Coin is located at 602 North Euclid Avenue in Bay City.
This has always been a farming community, and folks here, we want to keep it that way. There's a saying that a farmer's last crop is housing. When they get to the end of the farm's life, they sell it and develop it. With solar projects, that's one more crop they can harvest, generating a stable income for them and tax revenue for our community. We would hate to see this place become another suburbia, and this way we don't have to. A solar farm is still a farm, and that's what we want around here.
Fuel for Thought, presented by the American Clean Power Association.
Attention landowners, got big summer plans for your property? Then here's an offer from John Deere you'll really dig. Get 0% fixed rate APR for 60, 72, or 84 months on 1, 2, 3D, and 3E series compacts tractors. If you've always wanted to get in the seat of a powerful John Deere machine, now's a great time. Offer based on dealer participation. For complete finance details, call toll-free 1-800-468-8501 or online at johndeere.com/compact tractors.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
It's the Stormmaster Exterior Studios of WSGW. And WSGW is online with Stormmaster Exteriors.
Good morning and welcome back to the Focus program. It's Matt Felan with the Great Lakes Bay Regional Alliance hosting today. And I am joined by Tamika Merriman and Stephanie Meyering from Adoption Option, talking about the remarkable work that they are doing with foster children and children that need to be adopted in the Great Lakes Bay region and beyond. So, Stephanie, before the break, we were talking about programs that are in place for those that are aging out of the system at 18 that still need support and resources. Talk about your role as family preservation program manager and that program, some of the other programs like PREP, the Parent Resource Education Program, that you're leading to help these families.
Yeah, so above and beyond that, foster care Adoption Option does family preservation. So we're trying to keep families together. We're trying to teach them the things that they need to be able to get their children either back in the home or prevent that removal from happening, right? So Tamika mentioned we have under 10,000 children in care right now in the state of Michigan, which is huge. We've always been one of the most highest removal rates, lowest return rates. And part of that is the focus that we put on family preservation. So one of the programs is our Youth in Transition program, which does service those youth ages 14 to 24. My goodness, I almost said 18, but it goes beyond that point of an 18-year-old when they are in those critical moments of having to become that adult and move from those childhood needs into, oh my gosh, I'm now out on my own. You can become a mentor, which is like 4 hours a month where you're paired with one of our youth that is in the program, and you just spend some quality time. So giving them that support and that those life skills and just providing an example for them out in the community. But we also do parent education, provide time, supervised time for parents and children to be together while they are in foster care, safe spaces for them to be able to spend quality, authentic time together. PrEP is our very first prevention program, which is based in Midland County only. So even before CPS or DHS gets involved with a family, we can come in and we can teach them parent education so that they can overcome any parenting barriers that they do have. So we utilize a curriculum called Parents as Teachers, and that focuses on prenatal to age 6. So if you're in need of that, give us a call.
Yeah, I'll tell you, listening to this, it really speaks volumes to the sophistication of the organization of Adoption Option. That I think a lot of times people hear something like, oh, this is what they do. And they don't understand the complexity, the detail, the various ways you're trying to impact. You guys are going way above and beyond. And knowing your CEO, Delois Leapart, the way I do, I am not surprised. That woman is all energy and a complete dynamo. Yes. For our listeners, how big is your team at Adoption Option?
Overall, I think we've hit about 50, with the majority being in the family preservation area. We're still growing. We're vibrant. We just celebrated 20 years in existence, and we're growing, trying to serve as many children and families as we can.
So let's have a little bit of fun now. This is kind of that time to talk about how we can engage our listeners, how we can engage our community. How can they help Adoption Option? I know we have a fun event coming up.
Yes.
I love the name. It's time to Summer Sizzle on Thursday, June 27th. This is an inaugural event. Tell me about the Summer Sizzle and why we need to get out there.
So the Summer Sizzle is to support those family preservation programs. It is our first fundraiser to really support the programs that I work with. So those parent education, youth in transition, really getting in there with the families before issues happen, and even while to be able to reunify families while the children are in foster care. And so the fundraiser is going to be at the Willow. There's going to be live music, lots of yard games to be able to play. We're going to have raffles and giveaways, all kinds of stuff. We want you to come out and just show your support.
Tickets are $25 for adults, $10 for children, and does include a meal. And just for coming, your name is thrown into a raffle to win door prizes. So every 30 minutes, we're giving away gifts just for being there and hanging out with us.
That's awesome. And where do people go to get those tickets or to find out more about the event?
You can just show up at the event or give our office a call, and we can write their name down and reserve a ticket for them that way.
Awesome. Then go online to learn as well. If you go to adoptionoptioninc.org, there is a section that lists events. And I know it's further down the road, but it's got two of my favorite words right next to one another. Jambalaya and Jazz, the 11th annual signature event at the Great Hall and Banquet Center on November 21st. I'm not going to lie, you had me at jambalaya, let alone jazz. That is a great event. I know it's further down the road, but people are planning. You may have some folks traveling in June. So if they can't make June, tell us why we're going to get jambalaya and listen to jazz. Tell us about that event.
So Jambalaya and Jazz is really focused on those foster care and adoption programs. And so this is your opportunity to hear stories of successful adoptions that have happened. It's also an opportunity to meet our foster care staff and figure out ways that you can be a part of foster care and adoption. So again, we'll have live music, there's food there, and you can purchase tickets. As of now, we're already getting donations and sponsorships for Jambalaya and Jazz because it is our signature event.
That's
we also
outstanding.
do a silent auction that night too. So there's lots of opportunities to win things and bid on things. So
and probably more importantly, for folks that are listening and they want to help, they can donate silent auction items to that event as well,
They
correct?
absolutely
So
correct.
if you're out there and again, you're driving around or you're sitting in your office and you're thinking, I want to help this organization, here's what you can do. So here's the last question. We're gonna end really heavy, okay? Because this is what we got to do. We're gonna get real here. So if someone's listening right now and they think, you know what, I have that calling to adopt. I have that calling to really give back to these children in the greatest way by opening your home. How do they go about and start that process? Someone's listening right now, and I guarantee someone, we're talking to them right now, and in the back of her head, she's thinking, gosh, I should really do this. It sounds overwhelming. I don't even know where to start. What do I do? What do you say to that person who's listening and seriously considering it right now?
I would definitely say touch base with our website. All of the information is on there, but I love this so much. I'm so passionate about it. I'm going to give my cell phone. Call me. I am Tamika Merriman. I am the vice president, and I will guide you every step of the way. You can reach me at area code 404-849-7822 or go to adoptionoptioninc.org.
And as that person's doing that, and they got that number, was it 404 Atlanta?
I did live in Atlanta.
Yeah, I hear that fancy 404 coming through. If they have that little bit of trepidation right now in the back of their head, what advice would you give them so that they're going to make that call?
Ignore the myths. There's a lot of horror stories out there, and it's not what it seems. Just call and get the information. You can ask questions. There's no rush. You can take your time. We can guide you every step of the way. You'll be paired with our licensing supervisor, who's amazing, Miss Sarah Geis. And she, again, no pressure. Just get the information. Ask the questions.
So we're going to do it again. Give that cell number. If you are the least bit interested in adopting a child and helping in the ultimate way, call Tamika Merriman with Adoption Option. That cell number is
404-849-7822.
Well, ladies, thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you.
We
for having
appreciate
us.
all the
Thank you.
amazing work you do for the children and young adults in our community. It's astounding. I hope our listeners are taking it to heart and that a few new folks are going to be coming out and helping and especially enjoying that summer sizzle on June 27th at the Willow. Thank you, ladies.
Thank you.
Have a great weekend.
You too.
You too.
Jim Wilson, are you going viral?
What? Really? Do I need a vaccine?
No, not that kind of viral. Your Ford dealership in Saginaw, Wilson Ford Lincoln, is all over social media with comments like best car buying experience ever. And Wilson Ford just picked my car up for service. But this one's my favorite. They gave me way more for my trade-in.